Hello, and welcome to our channel, JETRO Startup. I'm Will Ferguson from JETRO San Francisco, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Marwen Sarraj, the Chief Marketing Officer of OneAct. OneAct is developing a web service called PieceX, the world's first source code marketplace powered by AI. Their platform is one of the largest in the world, currently used in over 220 countries. They're headquartered in Japan with offices in France, India, UK, and the US. Today, I'd like to discuss their challenges and explore their approach to expanding their business globally. Mr. Sarraj, thank you so much for joining me today.
Here on today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So can you tell us a bit more about OneAct and your service, PieceX?
Yes, so at OneAct, we have built PieceX, which is a marketplace for people and companies to where they can buy and sell software source code. We are trying to help companies change the way they build software. So not hiring a whole bunch of people to create the same solution or similar solution to the company next door, but instead acquiring that piece of software source code as a building block to help you create that software solutions that you are looking for without the hurdle of managing all that human resources.
Great. Interesting.
So at OneAct, we have built PieceX, which is a marketplace for companies where they can buy and sell software source code. We help companies reduce their development time and cost by acquiring pieces of software source code that act as building blocks for their software solutions. We have built PieceX on top of an AI-based layer, where we utilize AI for price management, we utilize it for quality assurance, and for copyright infringement protections. We make sure that everyone have the resources they need to build their projects in the most fast way and most efficient way with the use of AI.
Great. Very interesting. So could you tell us a bit more about your strength of your software and your solution compared to your global competitors?
Yeah, so we have few competitors. They are mainly marketplaces who focus on like small WordPress themes and plugins. But at PieceX, we have a focus on much higher quality and much higher complexity software solutions that enable companies to create more robust and more complex solutions that fit with their exact needs. The reason for our focus is that software is very diverse in terms of programming languages, technologies, frameworks of use. So into our marketplace, we have more than 1,000 different products, and they all go through a vetting system. That vetting system is done by AI at the first stage and by our internal QA team. Second is that we have built PieceX with AI as a core feature of it. So every product into our marketplace, the price of it is actually managed by our AI systems, making sure that the pricing is first fair to the buyers, and also it increases the number of transactions for the sellers, so they create more profit for their companies, as well as creating more transactions and potential customers. We have also created other features like customizations and support. So when a company purchases a piece of software source code from PieceX, they don't only get the source code, but at the same time they get support if they don't have the right skills or the manpower to build that software or to customize that software. They will be able to contract with the sellers directly to the marketplace. So they will have that customizations done for them from the best people to actually achieve those customizations. Because at the end of the day, the best person to modify a piece of software will be the person who have written that piece of software in the first place.
Right. Definitely makes sense. So you have a very diverse global team with members in about 10 different countries. That must be very challenging working with so many different time zones. But could you just tell us a bit more about your team?
Actually, other than the time zones, everything else is a blessing. We have built our team in the most global way possible that we can think of. And We are coming from 12 different countries. We speak 9 different languages. Every one of our team have a background into software engineering and occupy different positions. But the reason why we did this is because software is actually global. Whether you are from Japan, China, or the US, at the end of the day, when you write software, you write it in English, and it's something that is understandable and whether whatever your country is or your language is. So our team have been for quite a long time working in a flexible way, which allowed us to cope up with the unfortunate COVID crisis. So basically we are almost all remote, but we do have also offices in Tokyo, the US, France, India, and the UK, where we operate from.
Great, definitely a good model for building a global diverse team. So OneAct has received multiple awards from conferences like 4 years from now, Barcelona, and Supernova in Dubai. So first off, congratulations on your awards and recognition. How has that recognition helped you to with your exposure or making new connections?
So because we are a marketplace for companies and individual software developers, we make sure to be always present into those large events, whether they are in Europe, in the US, or into other regions. And we have participated in quite a few of them. The most latest one was GITEX in Dubai, where we were finalists for the AI innovation section on that. And we have also participated, as you mentioned, for 4 years from now, where we were awarded the best startup. Those participations are done to give more exposure for our solution, to be able to also interconnect with the different ecosystems of startups around the world, to make our solutions and our products available to them, and also to get feedback from those.
Excellent. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
So you've been participating in some of our programs, such as the Global Acceleration Hub in Silicon Valley. How has that been? Has it led to any success for you?
Yeah, so we have received a multitude of feedback from that participation, and it actually put us into a path of understanding more what the US market needs. That's why we have developed new features specifically for that market, like the wallet, PieceX wallet, which allow companies to have one single wallet that is utilized for all their software engineers, trying to bridge the gap between the software engineers and their upper management, and make those transactions go more smoothly into their organizations.
Great. Definitely glad to hear that our programs have been helpful for you.
Absolutely.
So I understand that PieceX is used all over the world, over 220 countries. So how do you reach and engage users globally?
Yeah, so we have basically 4 sections or 4 layers into our go-to-market strategy, which is one, to concentrate our focus into SEO and being able to be prompt into those search engines when the users actually need those solutions. Then we also rely on marketing and sales to be able to integrate with more companies, ensure that they receive our messaging and they see the value that we are trying to propose, as well as bringing on partnerships, meaningful partnerships with companies and organizations that have that network effect into different regions around the world, whether it's a startup accelerator that allow us to have our messages delivered to their startups, or huge corporations to allow us to acquire more of their customers as wins. And what we have done during the last 2 years is that in terms of growth, we have reached 80,000 registered users. Those are typically individual software developers, companies, small and medium companies, and about 6% of them are like bigger corporations. And between them, they have done more than 50,000 transactions.
Wow.
So that those pieces of software source code that have been exchanged into them have created an immense value and have enabled those companies to create innovation in a much faster way.
That's great. Great to hear about that growth. So you have a global team and a global solution. So can you tell us a bit about some of the challenges you faced in expanding globally?
Yeah, so coming to the expansion globally, there is a few challenges that any company would face. How to adapt their messaging to the targeted geolocations or targeted regions. How to adapt their offering as well, whether it's in terms of pricing. Uh, Thanks God we have AI for that, PieceX. Um, but most importantly, we think that you need to be able to have into your team the skills, the right skills, and the right knowledge of those different cultures and ways of doing business to be able to expand into different regions, especially if you are trying to do that at the same time.
Definitely a lot of challenges involved.
Yeah, and to elaborate a little bit more on that, so like during the last year, we have been able to not only increase our number of users, but it also we have been able to change and tweak our messaging words for marketing reasons, whether it's about how we deliver those messages to companies in Silicon Valley or in Mumbai, India. It's a very different message. But you need to be able to figure those little changes and make sure that you adapt to them, as well as sometimes you are into a position where you need some kind of support from organizations into those regions. Hence our participations to your program.
Oh, great. Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely happy for your success. So I imagine in expanding globally, you've made some key partnerships. So could you tell us a little bit more about some of your major partners?
Yeah, so during the last few years, we have partnered with startup accelerators like One Body, California, being able to have our products offered to the startups, being able to integrate with the startup ecosystem into that region. As well as we have also a few other partners that like Hancom in South Korea, which is a big corporation, a huge one out there. It allowed us to distribute our software solutions to a multitude of clients on that.
Great, great. So you and your CEO are both based in Japan, but as we discussed, you do have a global team. Just curious, what led you to come to Japan, join a Japanese startup?
Actually, the funny thing is that I have a master's degree to mobile software engineering. So the what happened during the last experiences that I had into software engineering was that I get always hired into a new company to create the same software or the same features that I have created into the previous one. Through some research, I did find Yusuke-san, who is our CEO and founder, and who lead our team in a way that is very special. Hence his experience at leading Japanese equipment manufacturing. He have penetrated the software industry to build this team and to build this project, which have allowed software engineers all over the place to change the way they create software. So everyone into our team, when we started recruiting first software engineers or people with software engineering background, and we have been able to actually hunt the best minds that we can find. Our CTO is a woman from Costa Rica. She had a tremendous experience with different software companies, and that's something that is common to our team. We have experiences with Oracle, Microsoft, IBM, and we have been working as like individuals before into multiple of different companies and different type of projects that allowed us to not only understand what the software industry needs, but also understand how to deliver that software, that value proposition to that industry.
So, what would you say is the potential for One Act to grow both in Japan and globally?
Yeah, so it's not about what is the potential for us, it's about our vision. And our vision is very simple. We would like that in the future, everyone is trying to create a piece of software. Instead of creating a new folder with an empty file into it and starting from there, they start by going to PieceX. And by doing that, they would be able to reduce their development time by up to 90%. So in the last, with the last companies that we have been partnering with, one of them was a flower shop who have created a delivery service in just 5 days. They were able to publish 6 different mobile apps with their web systems and build all of that through PieceX in just 5 days, reducing their development cost and time by more than 95%.
Wow, that's great. Yes, yeah, that's a very impressive case study. So, as we kind of wrap up here, do you have any message you'd like to share with any potential investors or prospective clients that may be watching?
So if you are an investor, we at PieceX, we are growing very fast, and we are currently into our Series A funding raise that will be mainly utilized for marketing and sales operations. That would allow us to increase and accelerate our growth tremendously. We are currently raising $3.2 million, and we are looking for foreign investors. That would be an intelligent way for us to open doors into other regions that we are looking to expand into.
Great, sounds like a great opportunity. So, Leslie, was there anything else that we missed or anything you wanted to add?
Every one of us who have created software before have experienced 3 major pains, right? So either a project that exceed budgets, low cost initial timelines, or simply how difficult it is to find and hire the right talent. But when you think of it, every software or everything we built it by joining building blocks and components and parts. That's why we created PieceX, which could be the source code parts catalog that allow everyone to reduce their development time at cost, as well as for sellers to create a new direct revenue for the from the source code they own.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that message. Okay, Marwen, thank you so much for joining us today. So if you'd like to reach out to OneAct, you may connect with them on LinkedIn or their website, PieceX.com. We also invite you to check out our other Japanese startup interviews on this channel, and we also have many startup pitch videos available for viewing. And for all things related to doing business in Japan, we'd like to remind you, talk to JETRO first. Thank you.